Well, if you remember back to the very first days of this pandemic, which I know feels like eons ago, one of the first things public health officials were saying is that you got to wash your hands with warm, soapy water for 20 seconds. Now, that remains really good advice on top of making sure that you're remaining physically distant, making sure that you're wearing a mask, which I see that you are. These are important layered recommendations. Now, think about that basic recommendation: warm soapy water for 20 seconds. Not everybody gets to take that for granted, and it accentuates the fact that water is life. Public health started in the moment when we realized how to keep people from drinking polluted water, and to make sure that the water that they drink was clean and pure. And as I reflect on this pandemic, on the advice that we gave, on the nature of public health itself, it reminds me that the resources that we have become that much more important when they become part of the set of barriers between us and an extremely deadly, extremely contagious disease. And it's been that way from the very beginning. And so, recognizing we are blessed with 21% of the world's fresh water, that we have a responsibility to that water, that water is critical to our lives and livelihoods. I think it forces us to step back and appreciate the responsibility that we have, and the fact that in so many cases we're not meeting that responsibility. You know, one thing that this pandemic ought to be teaching us too is that we are all as vulnerable as the most vulnerable. We're all as susceptible as the most susceptible. And unless and until we're willing to invest in the well-being of people who are the most vulnerable and the most susceptible, then we will have failed our public responsibilities. You know, leadership like Governor Milliken's is about centering those truths about collective action in the public good, and trying to bring us back to an ideal that says that we all do this work of politics, we all do this work of government with the goal and the responsibility of protecting what is ours together. And the key word there is together. And if we can't find a together in this, then it's going to be really, really hard to protect those resources. And we're seeing that now.